Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So for this video, I figured I'd go over my revenue report for the time period from January 24th to February 24th. I know this is a topic of interest for just about everyone who's thinking about getting into cryptocurrency mining, and I can see why. It was definitely these are definitely the types of videos that I was looking up when I first started, or rather when I was thinking about getting into mining back in roughly October of last year. Uh, so, so from January 24th to February 24th, for this time period, I mined at a constant 225 megahash per second output. During this time period, I did have some downtime, but I've gone ahead and estimated that my downtime was no more than 3%. The downtime was due to two different things. One time it was due to the internet just going out, and then the other time was due to an error on the terminal, something along the lines of segmentation fault, core dumped. That was the error I got on my Linux terminal. If you guys have any suggestions on how to, because essentially what I did is I re-executed the mining command and it got mining again, and then that problem didn't come back, so I didn't really investigate it. All I know is that it is an issue related to Linux, but because it hasn't been a recurring issue, I didn't investigate any further. I didn't perform any actions. So anyway, that's why I was down for a little bit of time. Also, the reason why we're going over January 24th to February 24th is because January 24th is when I stopped expanding my mine. So basically, I've been mining since December, but I've kind of been gradually adding one or two cards here and there to my rig, to my operation, and then I kind of just decided to stop around January 24th because the prices of GPUs had just gotten what I consider to be unreasonably high. So I stopped building at that point. I do plan to expand further, but I'm probably just going to stay at this rate for maybe 2 or 3 more months. So here we are on my Ethermine page. We can see my payouts. Let's see here, January 24th. So here we go. First payout. Let's go ahead and count the payouts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So for the time period from January 24th to February 24th, I received 13 payouts. I have my payout threshold set to 0.05 Ether. So basically in this 1 month time period, I produced 0.65 Ether. We can also go ahead and check out the timestamps here of when that Ether was received in my wallet. To kind of just simplify things, my strategy for this month was to sell the Ether within a few hours of it being received in my account, in my wallet. So based on that strategy, I went ahead and prepared a little simple report here that we can go ahead and check out. So based on info on CoinGecko.com, the price of 1 Ether at the time that it was received in my wallet was roughly this amount right here on this left-hand side, this column here on the left-hand side. So we can see that the price of Ether ranged from a low of about $785 US all the way up to $1,237 US. So then what I went ahead and did is I multiplied this rate here by 0.05, which is the amount of Ether. And then this is my payout in US dollars. So I went ahead and summed all of these 13 values here in US dollars. So after summing these and then subtracting a 1% trading fee, which is what my cryptocurrency exchange charges me, we get a total amount produced in 1 month in terms of US dollars of 602.8 US dollars. This is before electricity. But I've gone ahead and run the calculation. Even if I were mining in Hawaii, which is the US state with the highest electricity rate at roughly 0.29, at roughly 29 cents per kilowatt hour, we would have still been profitable. In Hawaii, roughly my electricity bill would have been around $250, $240. So you would have still made like $350 in profit. But of course, that would push your ROI period back to like a year and a half. But you would have still been profitable. Luckily, I'm not in Hawaii. My electricity rate is much lower than that. Also, I think a key thing to note is that here we can see how Ethereum crashed, and this was the biggest price drop I had experienced since I've been mining. So we can see how it went from like 1237 to 7885 within about a 2-week time period. So even when the price crashed all the way down here, we were still profitable. We were still producing like 2x our electricity rate. So I think that's important to note, is that even when things were, even when ish was hitting the fan, we were still profitable. And now I went ahead and showed you guys my Ethermine page here, and you guys might be thinking, well, wait a minute, you produced 602, but now you're down all the way to 430. Does that mean that next month you're going to be down at 300, and it's going to keep going down? Well, the real answer to that is who knows? No one knows, really. And sure, past performance is no indication of future performance. But what I can tell you is that this figure, it changes significantly on an almost daily basis. I can guarantee you that, well, I mean, we don't know for sure, but I'm fairly positive that within the next few days, this is probably going to fluctuate. We're probably going to see it as low as like $410, and it's probably going to go up to as high as, $500. It changes all the time. So I've definitely learned to pay much less attention to this number, and definitely not panic when you see this number go down a lot. It changes just so often. Another thing to note, rather in my experience, I don't know, maybe it's different in for other people, but I've noticed that this is constantly underestimating my production rate. So if you go ahead and it tells you right here that this is based on the last day. So it's basically extrapolating your production rate over the past day, and it's extrapolating that to the next 30 days, right? Your next month. Well, if you look at my production rate in roughly the past day, you can see that this is underestimating how much Ethereum I'm producing. So really this number should be closer to like $470. And this is something, again, that I've noticed in the past 3-4 months that I've been mining, is that it constantly underestimates my production rate. I don't know, let me know, add comments in the comment section. Maybe this is just my experience. Maybe for you guys it overestimates, or maybe it's right on the nose. but that's something to note. So I don't know, that might be another reason to pay less attention to this number. Uh, but yeah, that is my revenue report for the time period from January 24th to February 24th. I am pretty happy with the results. I expect this to be paid off in, a few more months. Uh, what's the point of estimating? This thing changes so much. It's up and down all the time, but I do expect the rig to be fully paid off in about 4 months from now. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys can also check out a detailed report on my blog. I have the link to that in the description. All right, until next time.